Look at the state of it. But just to point out, when it's raining, when you live in a van, it's probably the least fun thing because it's horrible. It affects everything. You're in a small space, and obviously when you've got wet stuff, it's everywhere, you know?
Good morning, people.
Morning.
We're just making a cup of tea. And it's 9:30 because we're lazy bitches.
And the weather's really crap, and you told me it was going to be really nice.
Well, we're not even where we're going to be yet, are we? So
we're only going around the corner.
We're going to have a nice cup of tea. And we're going to do a bit of stretching, because that's what we do now. And we're going to have something to eat, which is going to be some porridge. And then we're ready to go. So see you in a bit.
Right, let's show you the glorious view we've woken up to this morning in our glorious lay-by. Yeah. There we have it. There's some very fine stinging nettles there, which is always a wonderful thing. Lorries pulling in. And lorries the other end. Oh, my finger's in the way. And there is a bin though, actually, which is always handy in a lay-by. But last night there were vans either side of us, so you tend to find that in a lot of lay-bys. In the day, it's usually just vehicles pulling in and out, lorries, etc., transporting goods, or just taking a break or whatever. And then at night time, from the evening onwards, it tends to be replaced with camper vans quite often. This seems to be a thing. But you know what? They're functional, so it doesn't matter. They do a job, and you always feel okay in them, really. They're never something you feel particularly unsafe for us personally. So, you know, they're all right. Not the prettiest place, and you can't do much from them, which is really, like, you know, I like to go for a run in the morning. That's always out of the question when you're in a lay-by, because you're going to end up on a main road, and that's it, basically. But it's looking like a very grim day, so, you know, we have plans today, but I think we're going to persevere regardless, aren't we? Aye, he says. So we're going to carry on and hope that it clears. It probably won't.
Right, we're ready.
We're ready.
We're ready to go. So today we are off to Cheddar Gorge. So we're about half an hour away, Dan.
I don't know, I didn't even look it up.
Oh, I think we're only half an hour away, and I think there's a couple of car parks down in the town that we can go and stay in. But we have been here before. When we very first started in the van, in Vanlife, we went to Cheddar Gorge, but it didn't necessarily turn out too well.
No, so we I don't know if you've seen all of our videos. I think it might have been the very, very first video, the second at the latest, but I think it was the first, where we decided to go off in the van. We went to the West Country and we stopped in Cheddar Gorge. Long story short, we went walking. It was November, so the daylight was minimal, and we went up the gorge and we got lost, and we ended up down a steep slope that was really pretty dangerous, to be honest, and it was getting darker, the rocks were slipping, it was awful. So we've decided to try and rectify that this time. Nearly 2 years later, we're going to go there and have an explore, go around the little town, well, it's a village, isn't it, really? Get some nice cheese maybe, and go and explore the gorge again, and hopefully go up potentially Jacob's Ladder and get some good views. However, the weather is actually worse than when we last came here, because last time we came here there was a really amazing sunset over the hills and the valley, etc. Today it's just nothing but cloud and drizzle, so this will be fun.
Yeah, so hopefully no bottom sliding down rocks today.
No, exactly.
But we'll see.
Right, the rain's coming down, we're in Cheddar, we're having a parking nightmare, we're not sure where to go. So we're going to try and have a car park. We just pulled up in one that I think you're allowed to stay in, but it was just really tight. Last time we were in Cheddar Gorge, we actually parked in the gorge itself, and it was really pretty and everything, but we decided to try somewhere actually in the village itself. And there's a few options. There's a few car parks where it's kind of allowed. I guess it's a bit sketchy whether you can or can't, but it seems like there's a few other people that do stay here. There's another camper beside us. There's campers in the car park up there. There's another car park further down. So it's kind of astonishing really, because you're not used to seeing this. So it's not free. Most of the car parks are about £6 for 24 hours, is it, Stephen, I think?
Yeah.
About 24 hours. But yeah, hopefully we're going to stay here. Seems to be a good signal, which is always nice. The thing with driving around and parking in car parks in a camper van in the UK is you always feel like you're being really naughty or something, and like you're doing something wrong. So when you do find somewhere and it's seemingly okay, it still never feels completely right. But we're going to go with it, and yeah, see what happens.
Right, happy campers, it's raining. It's not very nice, but we are still going to go for a wander. There's some nice shops here that we went to last time. Hopefully we might find a walk. It might have to be postponed till tomorrow, depending, because we can't be sliding down no hills. No thank you. Took up brollies, because we got some brollies. I'm going to take my little bag in case I buy some cheese. Which I won't, damn well.
I'll buy some cheese. Some ludicrously expensive cheese, no doubt. So we just found another little Christmas shop. The last time we found one of them was in Calendar. We're not going in because it kind of makes us a bit...
Because Christmas is crap.
Shut up, it's not crap.
It ends up in a tip anyway, don't bother.
Yeah, see, he loves Christmas. But you always seem to find these Christmas shops that are open all through the year in places like this. So kind of tourist places, basically. I'm not sure why, as if somehow being a tourist place is going to make people want to buy Christmas stuff in the middle of March or whatever. I don't know. There's obviously a link though. Every time we see a Chinese restaurant or a takeaway, I'm always thinking of Northerners on tour and how they always hunt out the Chinese takeaways.
Not for those prices, no.
Are you imitating their accent?
Yeah, badly.
Yeah. So we're back in the van. We got our cheddar cheese for tonight. I always feel a bit weird about this actually, so I'll show you. So this is the Cheddar Gorge cheese. It was quite nice, we could try this one. It's £4.63 for a tiny packet. I have mixed feelings about this because I know it's like a tourist place. So on the one hand you think, of course, you know, you've got to help support those things, and I understand why it is what it is. On the other hand, you kind of, and I know Stephen's the same, you're sort of thinking, it's just a bit of cheddar, and I'm just paid basically a fiver for quite a small bit of cheddar. We've done that before, but for cheeses that are unusual, things we've never tried before, so to pay it for a bit of cheddar sometimes seems a bit like, really, am I doing that? So I don't know, is that being stingy, or is that just being a bit like, actually, you know, you've got to watch what you spend your money on? But we are in cheddar, in the fact we're not actually doing anything else.
And we are about to go to a pub to spend £5 on a pint.
Most likely.
So yeah, we can spend that on cheese, we can spend that on a pint, can't we?
Yeah, no, of course. I'm not moaning about it, but it's just a lot of money for a bit of cheddar, basically.
Yeah, it is.
But we'll enjoy it. We'll savour it even more.
Yeah. All right then.
Let's
go to the pub.
Let's go to the pub. So one thing we did do today in our everlasting problem of our electrics is we bought some little fairy lights, which, as you can see, are very professionally put up. They were only £1.50 and we saw them in a shop, and we've got some this side as well. They're a bit crap, but to be honest, we haven't got much else until we get the electrics fixed. Okay, so as we said, because it's raining, we decided, and the walk was a washout, we decided to do the next most sensible thing, of course, which was cheers.
Cheers.
To the pub.
To the pub. So, this is the end of the day. We've been to the bar. We're 3 pints in. So, what we're now going to do is eat some of this lovely cheese and some of this lovely pickle. Get some of this lovely bread. Ooh. Get some of this lovely wine. And watch the lovely Kath and Kim. And that's the end of our day, I'm afraid. It's been a bit of a washout. It's not very interesting. But that's it. It's finished. Done. Bye. Night.
I spilt this everywhere. I'm dripping pickles, Steve. So what do you do when you're in Cheddar, when it's raining and there's no way to get up the gorge because you don't want to face the rain, to be honest? You sit in your van and you eat cheese, you eat cheddar cheese, and that's it,
and you drink wine.
And you drink wine. So that's it. Oh. Oh, it's really good. Now, we'll just chug down a pint of wine to finish it off perfectly.
Lovely.
Wonderful.
Don't forget to stick some apple up your nose.
And some carrots in my ears.
Eee.
Yes.
Aye.
Where is this going?
I don't know.
So this is how it is today. Absolutely horrific. It's actually worse than yesterday. Shut the door. It's actually got even worse. Can you hear that? Look at the state of it. So I just went for a run because there was a break in the weather that looked like this, blue skies.
You can if you want.
And Stephen decided to do his exercises, and as we were both in the middle of that, it absolutely bucketed it down. We both got completely drenched. So I cut mine short. Stephen got back in the van. Everything's wet. We've got back in the van, took our clothes off, everything's wet. And now Stephen's giving it another go to finish his routine. But it's horrific. I think we're just going to sack it off Cheddar Gorge now because it's going to be wet. The whole trail's going to be wet. It's all uphill anyway, so I imagine it's not going to be the nicest.
It's coming down.
I think we'll have to do it on the way back. If we can stop on the way back.
Yeah. We'll try.
So, not a waste of time, but just not been the result we wanted. And never mind. Knees up, Norma. That's not the attitude.
It is.
Quicker, Steve. Quicker. Can we put stick up finger things, whatever you call it, middle fingers on YouTube?
Stick smiley faces over it.
Oh, that's too much effort.
Come on, put that away. I want my breakfast.
Yeah.
And you're in my way.
Well, everything's in our way in this van. I mean, look, it's about 2 foot square.
I know, we need to get out of here. It's pissing rain.
But just to point out, when it's raining, when you live in a van, it's probably the least fun thing because it's horrible. It affects everything. You're in a small space, and obviously when you've got wet stuff, it's everywhere, you know? So not nice, but it is what it is. I think Cheddar Gorge is not meant to be today or at all this time. Hopefully we can do it on the way back, and we're just going to head on for drier climbs. Probably not because we're heading further west, but you know, who knows?
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. Breakfast time.
Breakfast time.
And get some clothes on.
Yeah. Slut. Let's get on. We're off. Where are we off to now then, Dan?
We are off to... Oh, I can't put my seatbelt on. We're off to Tintagel. So this is almost a bit like a reliving our first video or first couple of videos. I can't remember where Tintagel appeared. We didn't actually film much of it, and we've been there in between where we haven't filmed it. But we thought we'd go there so we can park up, have a bit of an explore. We probably weren't going to film it, but now we can't actually film the gorge. We might do that. If the weather's nicer down there, we'll film a bit of Tintagel for you and yeah, see what we get up to around there. Because actually, we've got the English heritage still, haven't we? So we could go around the whole... I know we've done it before, but it might be nice to film that.
Yeah, all right then.
I forget what it's called, but you know the bit I mean.
Yeah.
Just to quickly say, the car park we stayed in, there's a few options there, but the one we stayed in, it's £6 for the whole day, and then we stayed in it overnight. So that's pretty good. You don't find that too often in the UK. Me and Stephen were both surprised, actually, that it wasn't banned full stop. So thankfully, hopefully it will stay. And we're very grateful that it was there in the first place. So that's pretty good. It's right in the centre of the village. There's a couple of other options, and of course right next to it you've got all the attractions. So you've got the gorge itself, the caves, and the other, you know, the shops and stuff in town. We didn't go in the caves because at the moment we can't. I know we don't have to justify our expenses or anything like that, but it was about £45 for the both of us, not each but for the pair, and we just thought we just can't justify that at the moment. You know, there are other things we will pay out for, but you know, when you're in a van and you're travelling around, you can't do everything.
Yeah, so the thing about being in the van is it seems like it's one long holiday. Like social media would have you believe that. You know, our Instagram, you know, our YouTube channel, it kind of looks like that from an outside perspective. But the reality is that you can't do everything because you'd end up spending too much money. I mean, £45 to go and look around the caves, that's all well and good, but you wouldn't be able to do that all the time if you did that every day. It's just, you have to watch your money. You can't spend out on all these attractions. Like the amount of times we don't go in a cathedral, or we don't go and see something because it's so expensive to keep doing it. It's just impossible. It's not one long holiday, and if you don't look after your budget, you'll end up with no petrol.
Where are we, Stevie?
We're still in the pub.
We're still in the pub, but
We
it's
haven't left. No, we're in Tintagel now, but it's cold. And that's all I have to say about Tintagel right now. It's cold.
Yeah, so we're in Tintagel. We got here a bit late in the day, to be honest, so it's too late to explore anything, but we'll do that tomorrow for definite. We got to the pub, obviously, because of course we did. But with that, we'll have our pint, get settled down, and we'll join you tomorrow. So I've just woken up and gone for a run. I look a bit sleepy. I don't know if you can hear this because it's really windy, so I'll try and keep it brief. But little things like this, when you can wake up and you've got a new view, somewhere new to run, and you've got this amazing bit of scenery, the Atlantic Ocean as Cornwall stretches out into it. It's not the most practical place to go running, if I'm honest, so I'm probably not going to go very far. But it's just one of those things, and it's the way we've been feeling, well, me specifically, more than Stephen lately. Little things like this are just little pick-me-ups, you know. We've got a lot planned today. The weather's not looking brilliant, actually, but we will persevere because we can't keep cancelling everything because of the rain. So let's see what today brings.
Right, good morning. So we're in Tintagel, we're in the car park, and we've got a couple of things to do today, but first we're going to go to King Arthur's Great Hall, something like that. It's
Yeah,
a big
I can't
old
remember.
building. I think it's about £6.50 to go in, so we're actually going to put our hands in our pockets.
But is it King Arthur's Great Hall?
No, probably not.
Oh, something about the Knights Templar as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
I believe.
the Knights Templar gather there. I think they're going there next week or something. I don't know.
Okay, so we've come into King Arthur's Great Hall in Tintagel. It's £6 each, and there is a lot to see, basically. But neither me or Stephen really knew much about it, to be honest, which is probably a bit shameful, but we know the basics. But when you come in, there's a 10-minute movie to watch. It's not really a movie, but there's an audio in Merlin's voice telling you the legend of King Arthur. And it's all quite interactive, sort of lights pointing at different paintings at different points in the story. But there's a lot of information to take in, so it probably helps to have a bit of pre-knowledge, which we're going to have to brush up on. But afterwards, you walk around, we're just about to start that now, and there's a lot to see. So there's huge amounts of information, paintings, the round table, I don't even know, I mean, we'll show you in a minute, but yeah.
Let's go and have a look.
Well, let's go and have a look.
Let's go and have a look. How many children have you eaten today?
37. It's just not enough.
Yeah.
The village has been so barren lately.
You do look a bit peaky.
I know. Fetch me some children.
There are none.
Oh, for God's sake.
There's a few old hags in the back.
That'll do.
I'll have them.
We'll have them. Roast them up. Potatoes, though. Right, we just come back to the van to get some lunch. What did you think of the Great Hall of King Arthur, Stevie?
Okay, so I wouldn't say that it's not a good place to go. It really does depend on your interest. For me personally, I was a bit bored. I mean, it is pretty. There's lots of stained glass windows and there's lots to read and stuff like that. But I did find myself a little bit bored and just looking up videos on my phone in the end.
You're really selling it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not say not to go there. You know, I'm not going to put anybody's business down. But for me personally, that wouldn't be something I'd do again.
How did you describe it?
A bit boring.
No.
Oh.
You said it all looked a bit...
Oh, it's a bit tacky. Yeah, I thought it was a bit tacky. Because I'm so classy, you know, I can say that. But yeah, it would go and have a look if that's the sort of thing that you like to see, but it's not really for me.
So a ringing endorsement from Stephen there. I'm glad we've done this place justice.
I can't lie, I'm not going to say...
No, of course not.
That it's not, but that is just personal opinion, though.
If you're into it, then it's perfect because it sums up everything, and there's some really beautiful stained glass windows in there. So they've done a lot of effort to set it up as King Arthur's Great Hall with all the information, lots of artwork, memorabilia, paintings, bits and bobs. You can spend a long time in there. But it does help to have a bit of pre-knowledge, which neither of us had. So it did make it quite difficult to go around. But it made me appreciate it, and it made me appreciate the depth of the tale, because there's so much to it and all the knights and everything. And as you go round, there's so many stained glass windows. There's a few big ones in the Great Hall, but then there's around the side, there's some little ones. And under each one I don't know if it's like the emblem of each knight, but there's something like a description of each knight of the Round Table, plus all the other related characters, if you like, and each with a appropriate stained glass window above it. So it's really good, and there's not actually like overwhelming amounts to read, which is good. It's kind of little morsels as you go round. But yeah, I'm glad we did it. And if you're into legends and King Arthur, then it is the right place for you, basically. So definitely go there, because it's all very specific based on your tastes and what you're interested in. But other than that, we're going to have some lunch, and then we're going to do the castle bit. And I'm just going to add that the man who works in there, he was right to say that going in there first before going around the castle is the best way to do it, because it fills your head with the stories and the imagination to kind of appreciate and take in the tales that you've just learned about as you walk around Tintagel Castle and the coastline. Yeah, it's not actually a castle. It obviously was, and there's just a few bits remaining, basically. We've been here before on a much sunnier day than this, which interestingly enough was actually much quieter than it is today. But it's always worth coming to, isn't it? So
yeah.
After going in King Arthur's Great Hall, this should be quite a nice thing to follow it up with.
So this didn't cost us anything to come up here. You can just walk down to the beach, it doesn't cost anything. But it is part of English heritage, so if you want to go and have a look and you're not a member, it's going to cost you 20 quid, which is shocking.
Yeah, so that's like 40 quid for two of you then, isn't it?
very large steps, not for the short-legged among us.
Right, there we are then. That was Tintagel. Very pretty, very gorgeous. We've been here before, but it's always worth coming back to. And this beach is absolutely outstanding. All of the rock formations, the Merlin's Cave, etc., etc. It is beautiful. So yeah, you've got a lot to see here. It's well worth a visit. But we're going to wrap up the video there and leave it at that, basically, aren't we?
Yep, so we're just going to go and have a quick look over at Merlin's Cave again, take a few pictures, and then it's up the trek, the hill, like that, to get back to the top, back to the van, and that's it. So don't forget to like, subscribe. What's the other one?
Press the notification bell so you're always updated when we've got a new video out. It
don't cost anything, you just push on it and you're subscribed.
Just push on it. That's it. Just press the subscribe button.
It ain't difficult. And it don't cost you anything, so come on.
Yeah, that's it. It is very steep on the way back, but it is what it is, so we just got to deal with it.
And for my efforts of walking up that steep hill, I want a subscription, please. Come on.
Yeah, that's it. For every single step, we want a new subscriber.
If you subscribe more, I'll walk up more hills.
There's 1,000 steps, so we want 1,000 more subscribers.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, with that, we're going to leave you there. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.